Greetings, I'm Lice.
And I am Scandal.
And welcome back to
Updating
Update Your
Hey.
Game. We were able to get around the update! Yay! I imagine they're adding more story or something, and that could be super cool. But in the meantime, our last episode was not the most enjoyable episode for us playing it, because we felt like the mechanics between Lily and Luke just went off the rails in an irritating fashion. But we're just gonna go ahead and just drive ahead and see what else happens.
All right, so we're just gonna start a new day.
Starting
After we earn our rewards.
a new day.
For
It's
slapping that
a
booty.
whole new day.
It wears me out. It is day 8 of the coronavirus quarantine.
Day 12 in the ghost house.
In the ghost house.
All right,
Arf.
there we are. Hey, Roxy.
Dog.
It's been a wild week, hasn't it?
Dog.
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 Dog keeps correcting
Dog.
you. Dog.
Dog.
Dog. You say
Dog.
Roxy, they say dog.
Dog.
Dog. I love that the game is still like, they're still called dog.
Right?
You're
I'm like, good
insane.
job. Arf. Borf.
Dog.
Dog.
And it's probably only just getting started. Aunt Mary knew this wasn't going to be a cakewalk, but I wonder if she knew about Luke when she constructed this whole scenario. Oh, God.
What?
Are we going straight into
Are
my
you
Aunt
really
Mary
going-
was trying to set me up? Like, are we really going straight into, I wonder if Aunt Mary was going to ship me with her neighbor boy?
What?
What? From beyond the grave!
Also, like, he was married, and we don't know when their relationship started breaking. That's creepy.
Let's try and ship you with someone who was maybe recently divorced when I died, but also still in the middle of things, because they're going through a divorce, so not even recently divorced,
That's
not even yet divorced when you died.
Horrible.
Lily drawing that
I'm
extrapolation
sorry.
seems naive.
I think your Aunt Mary was cool as crap, but I think
Would
in
not
that
do that.
particular area, that seems wildly assumptive and inappropriate. Because
Yeah.
also, you potentially haven't met, so she only knew her Aunt Mary when she was much younger.
Yes.
Like, and now you haven't had any connection to her at all, and
For
now
some
she knew,
time.
oh, you remind me of my great niece,
Yeah.
basically, and I'm going to set you up with them, even though their lives might have drastically changed, and I've heard about
I
them
feel
and their
like,
happy boy.
as
I'm
I
like,
said,
that's very
this is really a very
weirdly boomer.
naive assumption on Lily's part.
Right?
I feel like her aunt would not do that at all. There's still so much to do. Maybe she thought the neighbor would help because he can help do handyman stuff.
Maybe, like, that
rather
would
than
be more
shipping.
realistic.
That'd be
than, like,
way more realistic. Going, he can rebuild stuff, and she knows
and
that.
also, I'm like, Lily, why would you go there? You know he's unhappy.
One day at a time, right, pup? Well, also, why did he? Well, he went there because he's stressed and anxious.
Arf. Dog.
Dog. I love it. Everything reminding you I am dog. Come on, girl.
I am dog.
Let's go home and get some sleep. Tomorrow we'll check out the veggie garden. We have a veggie garden?
Wait.
Since when?
Oh, it's because we finished that section of the garden, so
I
now we're
know.
gonna get to it.
We're gonna unlock
Ooh.
something brand new.
New.
Blah, la, 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 la. Here we are, day 9. Ooh, do we not get woken up in the middle of the night again?
Still barely after 6.
Still, I don't know if the clock changes. I think it might be the same every time. You know what? I didn't look. I think at night it was actually different, so forgive me on that. I think it was, but I'd have to go back and look. All right. Nothing like getting to wake up gradually.
Honestly, it's a really good feeling.
It is
And it is-
amazing.
I hope all y'all, honestly, if you are indoors with the coronavirus quarantine going on, and thank you very much for following that request.
Yes, it's
like,
super
please stay
important.
inside. Like, really,
We are inside.
like,
It's inside.
being able to wake up gradually, I think, is something that I have greatly enjoyed. That I never realized in some ways just how pleasant it really can be. Where you're just like, I just get to get up.
When I'm working all the time and I have so much of a tight schedule and I'm trying to fit everything in using alarm clocks, you don't realize sometimes what it feels like to just wake up gradually.
Uh-huh.
All right, but I was looking at this and being like, I don't know. I had a thought and I lost it. It was like, but basically about the clock
The
changing
clock,
and
the
being
changing times,
like, her
and
being like, I just waking up gradually, slowly adjusting to the light of a beautiful new day. No sounds, but the birds chirp. You spoke a little too soon. Chirping. Here we go. Beep. Sigh. No sounds but the birds chirping and the mailman honking. Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
The mailman?
So over here,
Yep.
there's a skip up in the corner.
Right.
We accidentally hit it one time and missed part of our story, which we had some great help with Miss Kiwi Cat getting that back.
Yes.
What I wish for this game is that you could go back and read the story again. There is no way to interact, as far as I know, with any of the story after you have bought it with stars.
Yep.
At all.
It's
And
just gone.
Yeah, it is just gone. It'd be super cool if you could revisit some of that, especially as it's a very long story, 30 days worth of story. And if you're unlocking it bit by bit as you play the game, you can forget some of the important things that happened,
Right.
which is part of why we've been kind of enjoying cataloging it as a Let's Play. But I wish there was a way in this game to go back and see the story again.
Right.
Especially whether you skip it too fast. Like I know a lot of people who play dating games, they tap very, very quickly.
It's true.
It's
and
true.
dang, man, sometimes you go, I have made an error.
I missed something. Wait, I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go outside. It's a beautiful day. We're going to check the mailbox.
Hi. What?
That is not actually our mailbox, but why would the mailman be honking at us? Just to wonder.
Maily man?
Mailman, there's no
Mailman?
man. Maybe the mailman dropped off a letter saying I just inherited a big house and tons of money. The meta in this game is very cute. Oh wait, I already got one of those. That's super cute.
Like, it's funny, and also I'm like...
It's also a little ridiculous. It's one of those things like a pun. All right, we're casting spells on the mailbox now.
Lulu. I told you she's a mage.
She is totally a mage. Lily, you are underusing your potential. You have been stomped on too much by your resigned, feminine presentation of understanding your reality.
Right?
Stop it. Go cast more spells. All right, let's see. Junk mail, underwear catalog, state tax board. Oh, here's our next antagonist. Dear Miss Roberts, this letter is to inform you of unpaid property tax on the estate of Mrs. Mary LaRosa in the amount of... Holy moly, that is so many numbers in a row. Well, you see, she may not have given you a ton of money. All she may have given you is the money to afford living there for a year, because property taxes are a thing.
Also, though, depend...
I'll say it depends. I would say a lot of that stuff is settled up in estates. People will account for those kinds of things. But owning property in America, you have property taxes annually.
Especially, though, depending on where you are. Your property taxes, so in the United States, are very variable based on basically where they go. It's prime real estate, which means that it's basically up to the wind, and whoever decides that it's nice to spit on that side of the road today.
So
Like,
from
it's
my
very
experience
frustrating.
in owning things or talking to people about owning things, it's based on the value of the thing you own. So property taxes increase because the value of the thing you own increase based on demand.
But again, based on the fact of somebody's opinion and deciding whether or
Right.
not that's a nice place to spit on the side of the road.
Right.
Which is completely relative.
The
One of
grass
those
is
things a person
greener.
going, this apple is the same as that orange, or this apple is incredibly similar to that apple. That's
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
How does one determine value of a person or value of a house? Well,
in
you
this case, sometimes people inherit a large property or a large object, such as like a vehicle, a boat, a car, something like that, and they cannot afford the taxes on it.
Right.
And so they will just give it up or sell it to pay, one, its taxes, and two, have some money left over.
Right.
And that can be a thing. But hopefully the amount of money she got is comparable to the
I
amount
feel
of
like
taxes.
the da-da-dot is ominous, but let's read
Who
the
knows?
da-da-dot.
It's fine. It's fine. I am sure I can just use the money in Mary's account to pay it off. Automatic payments for the amount in arrears could not be processed due to insufficient funds in the descendants linked account. Wait, Aunt Mary didn't have enough money in her account to pay this off? Insufficient funds. Insufficient funds? Insufficient funds?
So, one of the things that I have to say is that I feel like what's going to come up is the fact that she was an accountant.
Yes.
She's going to figure out basically what's gone
Someone
wrong.
was embezzling or someone calculated it wrong.
Yes.
I want her to be able to use her skills. You trained as an
Which-
accountant, even if you're naturally a mage, go be an accountant. Account things.
Account all the things, which is fine, and I think that's a really clever way of bringing her in. But I'm also like, it
empowering her.
feels a little convenient. But maybe I think it's convenient because it's a game. Because
I mean-
honestly, it's really neat when a character really gets to go. This was a thing that I did, and it sucked. But also, I'm going, wait, I can do this thing.
Right, but I did do
Fight
this
me.
thing. Going, oh my god, my whole life was an ordeal up until now. And going, I am super competent. I got through the ordeal up until now. To have all this
Empowerment.
cool. Anyway, it'd be cool if it was Philip can help. Philip can help. I want her to be empowered with this. I want this to be something about her being an accountant
Me
and solving
too.
it herself.
Me
That would be
12.
super cool. Call Philip. We're gonna do it because that
please.
would be a thing of doing it.
Yes.
Do we?
No.
I hope he has some actual advice for me and not more of his Yoda nonsense, of his indirect mentor nonsense. If you haven't heard that rant, it's a good one.
That's very good.
All right, Philip Jones.
Ah, Miss Roberts, what a pleasant surprise. I was just...
I'm gonna yell at you and interrupt. Yes. Hello, I have a problem. I got a letter from the tax board saying Aunt Mary has a ton of unpaid property taxes.
Oh, did she? Well, fret not. You can just make use of the funds in her account to pay it.
That's the problem. They said there's not enough money in her account for that. Is there another test from Aunt Mary? Is this another test from Aunt Mary or something? And also, I apparently didn't look at the account or how much money I inherited or anything about that. I just showed up and started working.
We do that at one point where she was like, holy cow, that is a lot of money. Like, she freaked out, I think.
There was an amount of I've inherited money and the house and her talking about having a bunch of money and being able to fix things.
Right.
But going, if they say there's insufficient funds, going, okay, is this a different account than the one you inherited? And is it a different amount than what you inherited?
Right.
That's what I would like to know.
They said, what? I'm not sure that's right. Mary's mail has been forwarded here to my office. I'll just check her bank statement. It does seem to be less in here than I imagined there would be.
Oh, he's got that vague troll face on again.
Wait. You didn't actually... Oh, no. Sorry.
You didn't actually know how much money Aunt Mary had? Well, we didn't get married,
honestly?
my dear, and not everyone shares finances.
Okay.
Some people have completely independent finances with each other, even when they are legally married and have legal, sway over each other's finances as far as death is concerned.
It's true. There's also the thing that makes me giggle of just being like, why would he need to know? And number two, why don't you know,
No,
honey?
because you should have been able to see what you inherited. And even
that's
if
actually
you
usually one of the terms of going, this is what you're inheriting, this is the stuff associated with, that's what he's for.
Now, if you inherited it and it says an amount is in this account and it is not there, then it is appropriate for someone to track it down. In theory, I at some point will inherit some money when somebody in my family dies. Please don't have anybody in my family die. And if that happens, there is, one of the trust funds that's set up in case that ever happens and that will be passed on and divided if an individual dies, is an experience of going, we have people keeping track of this trust and accounting for all the funds in it. If it was suddenly dispersed and all the funds were wrong, you investigate it.
Yes.
So if the number she's got is different, she should know. She should be able to check this on her own.
There's also a thing too, so I was also going to mention is there's actually a lot of people sometimes who are like, well, you didn't know. It's like sometimes when you earn so much money, you literally don't know. Mm-hmm. And some people, well, they earn a ton of money. They know exactly how much money they make because they are greatly unhappy still and decide that money is just about making money and needing more money and money.
There's different ways to approach it and handle it.
And
all right.
Yeah. Well, Mary did keep secrets, even from me. I'm sure if you just keep doing what you're doing, all will be well.
It's another puzzle of solve this yourself.
Probably. But I'd also perhaps start looking around the property for any money or valuables Mary might have hidden away.
Or actual statements of what you got in the will itself.
You love whacking that. I'm so proud of you. I'm like, we are having fun with our particular recording setup, and we keep bonking into things. It's very funny.
Space. We're literally in a closet, and it's not a recording closet. It's just a closet. It's
but
fine.
It works really well as a recording closet.
It does.
We love
works great. It's fine. Hello, my clothes. I'm recording. It's fine. All right.
Well, good luck.
Click. Yep, it's Yoda time. Okay. Business as usual. Except
that in some ways, that really did sound like he was way more insecure about that.
It did, and then he's like, well, Mary, but it could have been that, well, if she's kept secrets from me, there's probably more to it than I know, and I'm just going to trust her.
Right? Except in that case, I'd be like, he's
way of doing
saying it?
things.
I don't know. Like, his weird side advice kind of
Call me if you need anything, but I won't give you anything if you called me. My work is done here, but you didn't do anything. Goodbye.
Exactly. Wait, what?
No.
You're welcome. No!
Tuxedo mask, you are useless.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry. Business as usual. I'm sure this will resolve itself somehow.
I am dog. Borf.
Oh, hey girl. Want to come to the veggie garden with me and find out if there's a whole bunch of money there?
Yep.
And if I can read what I actually inherited?
And now she's gonna inhale and blow.
Greenhouse. Goodbye, fog, goodbye, clouds. What a mess. At least there's plenty to do to keep my mind off this tax.
I'm also like,
stuff.
Okay, question. Honey, you're gonna need to hire some people to take care of that entire property, and I'm surprised you didn't do it immediately.
Also, things to know, sometimes you do not actually inherit your relatives' debts. Sometimes debt collectors will call you when you are not in charge of their debts, and it depends on the type of debt that it is for whether or not you need to pay it back and whether it's inherited.
Great thing. Sometimes actually, so some people have literally tried to hunt down relatives, so I've seen several stories about this online where they're like, I got a call from my dead grandparents, creditors, and they're like, you need to pay for this, and going, no, I don't. They're dead.
I did not inherit this debt. And they go, no, well, you need to pay for it. It's like, I didn't spend this debt. I didn't inherit this
And
debt.
then some people have been like, they literally also tried to guilt/shame me into paying for their debt, which doesn't exist anymore
Don't
because
you
now
want
they
to
are
clear
dead.
your dead grandma's good name of debt and going, she's dead. Her name is clear.
Her name is fine. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, and the thing is it depends on the kind of debt, but again, having legal awareness of what it is you've inherited, and when a debt collector calls you, working with a lawyer who will help you, or a financial specialist,
Right.
going, hi, I need to understand, one, what I've inherited, and two, what I'm responsible for, because they can tell you whether or not the people calling you actually have any claim at all, even if they're very pushy and very insistent.
And there are very important questions to ask, like this.
Yes. So anyway, but yes, some debt you're not responsible for. And I wouldn't know in this case, I don't know the specific enough, but there's an important thing. If you inherit from somebody and or somebody near you dies, even if you don't inherit anything and people start calling you about their debt, you need to find out whether or not you're actually responsible.
Yes.
Oh, I can do my weed pulling therapy again. I'll just pull one weed for each dollar I owe the state. We're gonna need more weeds, Roxy.
We've missed $1, $2.
Dig, dig. $34, $347, $99, lost count, $99 of weeds in my hand, $99 of weeds.
I am dog, bark, bark, borf, borf, borf.
Weedless-tastic. Are we gonna actually
My hands
keep
are
the tree?
plastic.
My
It's
hands
a Barbie girl
are
in a Barbie world.
destroyed. Because if you're not wearing nails, you're not
Not
doing
doing
drag.
drag.
Because you never wear gloves. Lily, protect your
You're-
hands.
You are a terrible drag queen. All right, let's
so
go.
I just want to share something really silly, unrelated
Huh.
right now because I love this with my friend. So both of us, we have a Boku no Hero Academia roleplay in the way that you do.
Of course.
And I have an OC that I have mentioned previously in one video that is a non-hero character. And if you don't know Boku no Hero Academia, this is going to be a useless reference to you, except for the big guy in the relationship wears gloves to keep his hands soft and protect them while he's working because his wife likes soft hands. So there you go.
It's very cute.
It's super cute, but wear gloves and protect your hands, okay?
Take care of your
You
hands.
also won't snag fabrics when you wear them if you have gloves. You know, you won't catch your hands on things, okay? Wear gloves. Moisturized. It's good.
Take care of yourself. I am dog, Borf.
Yes. You are Groot. I mean, dog. I mean, what?
What?
You're right. You're not dog. That's really not my best one of those. I'm really off my game today. Weedless-tastic isn't as good as Woobadoo. All right. Anyway.
Clouds immediately poof back into
Clouds.
existence.
Hang on. I heard you being less than enthusiastic. I shall reappear. Poof.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? It's time for the depression negativity cloud to creep in.
Yes.
I hope you were prepared because I'm just sopping.
I'm just coming to.
I'm a sopping mess. Sorry.
I missed you so bad.
God.
Let's.
I just
fix-
love hanging over it. Okay, we need to stop.
It's just such a light and dreary weight over you.
Well, you know, it adds a little bit of gray to it.
all right. Anyway, let's fix the walkway.
Dog and Lily suddenly punning at each other.
Punning really aggressively. Dog, Borf, walk, Borf, clouds. It's good. All right. Well, since Trim the Hedge was there first, I'm not going to do the walkway until after Trim the Hedge because I don't always know what order these should go in, but it was there first, so I'm going to assume we did it first.
Yes.
What kind of a tree is this? Once again,
Orange?
Roxy, we find ourselves in the middle of a huge mess.
I am
The
dog.
great, intrepid explorer Lily shall forge forward into the gardens and without so much as a glove for protection, dig into this shamble and clean it up.
Honestly, though, again, if she's a mage, she must be super hardcore and going like, all right, moisturize spell. Moisturize me. Moisturize me.
You can do it. Blue, 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 blue. Or
And if
protect my hands. Blah, blah,
And
blah,
if
blah,
anybody
blah.
knows Doctor Who, I hope you get that
Oh,
because
God.
moisturize me.
It's so bad.
Time to moisturize.
All right.
Moisturize
Middle
me.
of a huge mess.
Moisturize me. Moisturize me. Boof. I am dog.
At least this mess can be solved with a pair of head shears and some magical hand gestures.
Yes.
Yes. Don't go hiding. Oh, where'd she go? Ho, ho. I just assume Lily sings. If you haven't
Why
seen
not?
other episodes, she
I-
sings, how'd you get up here? Why am I under the fog? I need to know.
I need
The
to
fog
know.
is just creeping on us. So much better than before. That is a really nice hedge, Lily.
Like,
Good job.
you are a
square,
champion.
Clean, champ.
Like,
I also
well,
love this lilac bush up here in the back. It's very nice.
very pretty.
Very pretty. Lilacs are so hardy, they will grow in anything. They are just like, you can just tear them out and shove them back in ground. They grow great.
Yes.
Think the tax man would let me work off my debt by doing yard work?
I mean, you've gotten really good at it. Arf.
You're getting
I
really
am
good at
rude.
landscaping. Honestly, you could start a landscaping company and start paying things
Dog.
back. Also, if the house is big enough, you could rent parts of it. You could also rent out the studio. You could also rent out the greenhouse. You could also rent some community garden space. Like, you've got enough land to be able to make money off of this if money is your problem.
True.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, here we go. So build benches. Did we talk about benches?
No,
we
haven't even
talked
talked about
It just
benches.
arrived. All right, walkway. We haven't even talked about benches. They're just here.
Well,
I
you
have
know,
a bench.
everybody needs a
Acknowledge me.
bench.
All right, Roxy. Feast your paws on the... Wait a minute. Your paws don't eat. Do you eat with your paws? Feast
I mean, the thing is
your
that she has...
senses on this.
The thing is that she has the right idea, because a lot of people goes, feast your eyes
Uh-huh.
on
And they're
this.
going, I want a dog feature instead. Feast your
Because,
paws.
dogs don't have functioning eyes.
But
so
on
the
this
dog
hand-
is, it looks at you and goes,
In this case...
rude?
This is a bloodhound kind of a dog. So, you're going to have a scent hound here kind of thing going, feast your nose on this
Feast your
experience.
no-
Your
feast your
strongest
nose.
sensory experience. Feast that.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, feast your paws on this because
Oh.
it's texture.
Oh.
Okay, that was more clever than I gave them credit
Oh.
for. I
Oh.
apologize. Feast your feet, feast your paws. Feast your tactile experiences. I like the blue, green. It's
I was about to say, that's very green. That's like a
It's-
teal.
It's a
Teal
very pretty, but
aquamarine.
like, look at all this. Like,
It's
it's
so
a
pretty.
mosaic
Yeah, let's do it.
instead of just poured stones. I
Yes,
love the
do it.
mosaic. That's super fun. Also, that is so much more work. Walkway zing! Did you really just lay that after you learned how to lay tile over at your grandpa's studio? 'Cause,
Like, damn,
wow,
you're hardcore.
You just learned that so freaking fast. You're like, that only took me like 2 weeks. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Look at that. It's so pretty. After a week of this, I'm basically a walkway expert. You do seem to have the knack for it. That stuff is not easy.
It's really not.
That is like, leveling and
Borf?
setting a foundation,
I am
grouting,
dog.
smoothing. You are. Yes, I know I'm still not acknowledging your name. We're still missing the edge stones, and the ones here are broken. But I'm just going to call you Roxy.
It's fine.
It's fine. You'll be
It's
fine.
fine. We're all fine.
Build walkway. Round 2. Edge the walkway.
Yes.
You got to edge it.
Got to edge real good.
Edging is very important in this case.
It helps you go longer.
After you feast your paws, edge it up. All right, walkway. More like cakewalk. Yeah. Yep. Totally off my game today. Feast your paws wasn't bad though, honestly.
Honestly, for anybody in any position, having your livelihood threatened that hard would be terrifying.
Honestly, this looks really pretty with that teal.
Try the.
Okay. I like the dark one a little bit, but I don't know what the rest of the garden's going to be like.
Yeah.
Like, so both of these are very pretty to me, but this one just feels
I thought
off.
that disappears too
So
quickly.
do you like
go to the
more
white, go with
pale
the
or
white.
like striking?
Go with the lighter.
Okay, we'll go with the middle one. Yeah, that just looks really nice with the stones. Ta-da! I'll have the best looking walkways in the state. Oh, there's states now.
Oh.
We just had city and mountains before. Now we have states. World building ensues.
Aha!
I don't have to sell the whole estate just to pay the property taxes. Again, you can rent all kinds of it. I don't want to encourage like Airbnb behavior, and I really do not. However, you can rent living space there and get yourself some money.
I still have to say that I still love learning that story. So if you guys don't know, there was a story that was shared by somebody where their friend somehow had managed to acquire multiple houses.
Just recently in the corona epidemic.
Yeah, by corona epidemic, and what was exposed about them is that they discovered through their friend freaking out of going that, oh my gosh, they basically bought all these unfurnished houses, furnished them, and then sold them as basically rented them out as Airbnb places. And so now that everybody's been canceling thanks to coronavirus, they are going to be owing $50,000 in renter fees.
Okay, so if you will allow me to mend.
Sure.
Their friend assumed they had bought these properties and were renting them out. They were not. They were
person who's telling the
subleasing all of
story.
them. So the person telling the story went, I have this relative or friend who has a ton of properties that they all rent for Airbnb. And we just thought somehow he had acquired and owned them. We find out that what he had done is rented them from other people at their monthly rent cost with leases and then been subleasing them as Airbnb. So now he owes all of his monthly rents because he didn't own any of the properties.
Right.
So Airbnb is not, it's not a good model. It takes away a lot of housing potential for a lot of people. There's actually a really cool housing market video that maybe we can link down in the bottom if we can find a housing market as
from Philosophy Tube.
Yeah, that would be
it's
great.
super good.
All right, so we can do the housing market one in here because let's do that because we're talking about property taxes here in the housing market. We got this.
We got it.
What would even be the point of all this work then? To give it to someone else?
Borf, I am dog.
Yes. Well, you're right, Fuzzy Face. I beat Larry. I can beat the state tax board somehow.
You're an accountant.
You are an accountant.
I feel like
you've
I'm
forgotten what you are, dear.
It took her 9 days, you guys, and she completely forgot.
In 9 days, I have become. The gardening is so ingrained in my soul.
So?
I am no longer an accountant. Except for she did, building on her self-image just a few-ish episodes ago, so I don't know.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that, again, that's not all that she is. And sometimes it really can be that thing of going, oh my God, so much has happened. Because you really have to say for Lily, so much has,
A lot
so much has happened in the past 9 days. Like, damn, I don't know if I'd be like.
That's a lot,
wow.
dear. All right, we used to sit on these benches on summer days and eat fresh-picked cucumbers. They're still my favorite snack. Veggies. Ever had yourself a cuke?
Yeah.
Ever had yourself a cuke, Roxy?
It's a dog. Arf?
Some dogs do enjoy
dog?
vegetables, but some not.
Yes.
I'll grow you one. I don't think they're bad for dogs. That is an important awareness. Some things are bad for dogs.
Find out if it's good for dogs or not, because I actually don't remember.
I don't either. I think cucumbers are okay, but there are some things that are not.
But dogs, unlike cats, so just for some fun extra bits for everybody else who's watching, dogs, unlike cats, actually can process more vegetables when compared to like a cat.
Because dogs are omnivorous and cats are carnivorous.
Yes. Dogs are actually more like us in that way than lots of the other animals that we tend to keep as pets, or at least the more social ones we tend to keep as pets.
We don't keep a lot of omnivores. Honestly, dogs are one of the only popular omnivores as pets that are not a specialized exotic pet.
Yes.
So yeah, you've got insectivores, you've got carnivores, but these are the omnivore pets, and they can eat more things, but still be very careful, read lists, look it up.
And also, again, don't limit your dog's diet to something vegan. Holy cow, please.
Okay, let's look at these benches. Before we get too controversial, no, I don't want your standard park bench. Also, there's a tree growing through both benches. That's amazing.
That's disappointing.
That is a little disappointing. I'm like, that is so much
That looks
clipping.
so tacky.
None of these are very exciting.
I mean, the white ones.
They are the okayest.
Again.
I feel like this one might match the greenhouse ultimately once we clean it up better than the white one.
We could come back to it. If you want to do the middle one, that's fine. But I
always
just
come back and
definitely
change
do
it.
not want the green one. The green one really doesn't fit. Like, it looks
super weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird.
I'm like, I want the fun stuff. Like, for
I do
sure,
too.
but
I
I
wanted
don't
something
want it
charming.
to look sort of.
There. Ready for cutie snack time. Snack time.
Yay!
All right, now we just need the veggies to snack on, but that's for later.
Are you gonna You really are
Insta-grow.
Instantly gonna grow things.
Okay, what's next?
Is
We
she a
gotta deal
warlock?
with those trees,
Maybe
dear.
that's what she is. She made a deal.
Druid?
She made a deal with her grandma's old patron, so she is continuing the line of warlocks, and she doesn't know it.
She's now the new garden warlock, and she didn't realize she also inherited a patron.
Yes.
That's good. I love that. That's so much a fun story. Yes.
I mean, we have one of those stories.
And then also a level of, depending on how much influence that patron who gives her power does have,
Right.
she could be like, I've totally forgot I'm an accountant because I'm just focusing on the garden.
Right.
And her grandmother, who has been a garden warlock for years, knew that she would be unable to move away from the garden and was thereby much more able to set up this entire story in the garden and also to control the environment of the garden through the power of their patron so that none of the photos got lost or ruined.
Aha! We
love
discovered
Pulled
it
together. Got it.
Yes,
Yes,
excellent.
done. This is such a cool greenhouse. And being a warlock is nice. I remember seeing a big one like it online. I think it was in Copenhagen?
It does sound
here it goes.
familiar.
I wonder if I could go into hiding in Denmark to ditch the taxman.
Hello, Ms. Roberts.
Ah! Oh, just squeak! Yeah! She did do it. That's great. Philip, where did you even come from?
Oh, he actually showed up to help her.
He did. I hope so.
Oh, so that means he really doesn't know. Oh, so
might
this will be one of
actually
those things where initially before he was confident, now he's like, now I don't know. And she's going to go, wait a minute. I'm an accountant. Sorry, what am I calling this now?
I hope so. I hope so.
From my house, of course.
Of course. But I just talked to you on the phone.
You didn't think this whole tax business would stop me from performing my inspections, did you?
If I did, I thought wrong, apparently.
I see you're working on the Victory Garden.
Is that what this is?
Oh, really?
Victory?
Oh,
garden?
we're gonna go. Are we really gonna go into the history of what a victory garden is? Because
Let's
I'm gonna
find
shut
out.
up if that's true. Like, if they don't cover it, though, I'm gonna be grumpy.
All right, well, we will find out. All right, do it.
Ask him about the place.
Ask him about, not about victory gardens, about the place.
place.
Oh, hello, Roxy. You are having a fit.
Roxy. Borf,
What do
Borf.
you mean by victory garden, Mr. Jones?
Borf. Borf.
Borf?
Oh, not a student of history, I see.
Nope, just accounting. Was more of a numbers gal. Now
No.
she remembers.
Well, despite my youthful appearance, it might surprise you to know that I was alive during World War II.
Oh, I am super surprised. It would absolutely not surprise me.
And considering your Aunt Mary, that's true too. It was a hard time for the soldiers, of course, but also for those of us at home. This is super relevant!
Yay!
Coronavirus stuff. Like having your own garden, honestly, so this is a good thing. I know it's not necessarily helpful for everyone, but
Not
sometimes
everyone has space to garden.
the
However,
thing is like, if you can actually have your own garden, gardens are really good and very effective ways to
there's
use
actually
your land to
lot
benefit you.
of online videos about making gardens with plastic bottles in your city windows,
Yes.
or in your window boxes, or even in your house in a corner of it. There are some really cool cascading self-recycling water gardens and
I
things
was about
like
to
that,
say, there's
like
also a
hydroponic
really
gardens.
fun guy also that you can watch too. His name is Jeb Gardner. He does some great hysterically, like, I find them to be funny because they're literally just a guy wandering
And he
around
does a
his
lot of
garden
it
with
indoor.
classical music.
Yeah, right. And he does a lot of it indoor in tubs. He grows a lot in tubs.
And we're
So
talking
that
about
could be
like
cool.
big plastic tubs, not like bathtubs.
No. But I mean, not that you couldn't use your bathtub, but like we're talking about like the plastic storage tubs. So that could be
Yes.
a way to grow things as well. Anyway, interesting stuff. We'll link to Jeb down below.
Yeah,
too, 'cause
he's
that'd be super
great.
cool. All right.
It's not as our farms and other factories were focused on feeding our soldiers abroad. Food was not as plentiful as it is today, except that that's not entirely accurate. Let's see what's happening. So to reduce the pressure on the national food supply, the government encouraged us to plant victory gardens full of fruits and vegetables. Sow the seeds of victory, plant and raise your own vegetables, they said. They had some lovely posters, which they did. They were actually really pretty. Anyway, this very garden was once a victory garden.
Because if you can feed yourselves, you can succeed. You can win.
Yeah, exactly.
Because most of us, an army walks on its feet, but an army walks on its stomach, but so does everybody.
Yes.
Like no one
And that was from Napoleon. by the
lasts
way.
very
Our
long.
army lasts on his stomach. I think that
walks
was
on its
Napoleon.
stomach. Yeah, so,
So the thing I was actually going to mention, it doesn't sound like he's going to discuss it. So actually, the other reason also, or at least one of the other reasons they suggested doing that as well, is not only because of food rationing, but also because of metal rationing. So a lot of the items, like they were trying to basically stop they were trying to use the metal to like build planes, which my great grandma actually helped build.
Right.
So my grandma was a part of that process years ago, because when the guys all went to war, a lot of the women remained behind, and they basically filled in all the jobs at the time.
See, and I had a grandpa who flew planes in the war, and I had a grandpa who was a photographer, an army photographer.
Nice.
Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so there was a lot of it was basically also about metal rationing and trying to get people to stop using products.
That
So like
use
again,
metal packaging.
use like metal packaging and use cans.
Right. So you
know?
didn't have canned goods if you were eating at home.
Right, exactly. So they were trying to help break some of that down and also give more basically to the troops. So one of the things they talked about, at least for the American side of it, was, as far as I've ever learned, was that we were ridiculously well supplied compared to some people. But we also had really little experience, which was, they were all very new at the war thing.
See, and this doesn't mean that we're endorsing war and going, yay, war and food is so important, but
it's just interesting details.
But the interesting details about the history of our country, America, and
I would say the way that we reacted and how slow we were, as far as I understand, in terms of reacting to World War II, was terrible.
In this case, we should be reacting to coronavirus, and we need to be doing it quickly and stay indoors. And by the way, we are happy to see you and help you, support you indoors. We would stream if we could, but we cannot. We do not have the internet for it.
Which is why it would be really helpful if you guys wanted to check us out over on Patreon or Ko-Fi. It'd be great!
If you have some money to spare in this time of variation, we would appreciate it. We are trying to get some internet so we can do more streaming, more discussion, things like that.
Right.
Anyway, I had no idea.
Though you think of this as Mary's home, it originally belonged to your Uncle Arthur's family, and this was their victory garden.
Well, it's pretty big. Really? Aunt Mary never told me that.
They had a lot
that
of money.
I remember. Sometimes as a kid, you just don't remember. You say, they never told me, but you don't always remember.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, yes, history is everywhere, Miss Roberts, even here in the dirt.
I love historical dirt.
Now, I'm going to go have a seat, and I'll rub it on my booty, and we're just going to roll into history, and you can go about your business.
Well, it's a good thing I just replaced those benches.
Woo!
I'm really glad.
Days like this always make me crave a fresh cucumber.
I'm hoping there's one somewhere in the garden, or I'm going to have to go to the store and find it. On the other hand, if it's not the right time of year and nothing's been cared for, there will not be cucumbers. Says someone who's been in overgrown gardens, you do not find as much produce as movies might lead you to believe.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, shoot.
Victory garden, huh? Let's turn back the clock on this place. Magic, here we go.
Borf! I am dog.
Hey, yep, Roxy, that's it. That means cucumbers for you. All right, so do we want to,
Oh, let's see where we are. Oh, yep, so now actually sounds like a great time to stop, so thank you very much, guys, for joining us.
Yep.
We really appreciate you being here, especially, like, sharing your coronavirus time with us.
Yep.
We very much appreciate it. So if you like what we do, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like I
Yep.
said, we've got a Patreon, we've got a Ko-Fi, we've got our links down below. We'll also link, like we said we're going to link to Jeb Gardner. And who else are we going to link to?
housing market.
Housing Market with
Yep.
a philosophy tube. It's really
Yep.
interesting and it's really good.
right.
So I have definitely been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!